His name's Ed.
And she's Christina.
And this is the Let's Cook project.
All part of Kitchen Socials.
So before we start cooking, what do we have to do?
You have to pay attention to the 6 golden steps.
So step 1, tie your hair back.
Step 2, remove all loose fitting jewelry.
Step 3, roll up your sleeves or wear short ones.
Step 4, wash your hands.
Step 5, put on a clean apron.
And make sure your food prep area and equipment are clean and ready to go.
So what are we cooking today, Chef?
Today we are making sweet corn fritters with mango salsa. So we have some cold pressed oil, 1 lime, a beautiful mango, 1 chili, spring onion, fresh mint sauce. You can use fresh mint as well, yeah. Gram flour, it's chickpea flour. We've got 1 tin of sweet corn, black pepper, some onion, bit of chili, a courgette. So, step 1 you ask, I'm gonna hand you the mango.
Okay.
What I need you to do is to slice it into a hedgehog.
So essentially what you have to do is when you hold the mango, if your fingers of your tips are touching at the top, then that means the seed is through the middle, right?
That's right.
So when you cut it, ensure that you're cutting the sides. Seeds.
Like next to the center,
Yeah.
but not in the center.
So, like so, and then do it on the other side as well.
Let's place your chocolate bucket here.
Use a cutlery knife. What you're going to do is you're going to slice into the mango, like so, about 1 centimeter apart, and then you're going to cross hatch, like so. Not all the way through so it touches the skin. And then you get a hedgehog. So you're gonna sort of scrape the mango out here.
There we go. Let's see. While she gets started on that, I'm going to chop up the spring onions to help out.
Use scissors.
That's correct.
So if there's any little kids at home, scissors are great because no risk, well, little risk. What are we going to do next?
So next we are going to add the chili.
With the chili, I'm going to cut through it. We want it finely diced, right?
That's right. Now it's optional to keep the seeds in. It's okay to take it out if you don't want it.
So I'm going to spoon out the seeds. I'm a bit messy. Okay. So when you're cutting, always remember to use your fingers as a guard. Is there anything that you can do?
Yeah, you know what? I might just zest the lime.
Hi, my name's James from the Let's Cook project, and today we're going to talk about citrus and we're going to talk about peel and juice. So, you'll notice in all of our recipes we don't use any salt. Now that's for a very good reason. Salt is actually really not very good for our health. So what we do is we use lots of other flavours. We use spice, we use herbs, and we use lots of this stuff, which is citrus. So citrus is in the form of an orange, which pretty much everybody's probably had, and tends to go a lot in sweet dishes, although it can be used in savoury. Limes are really good with chili dishes, Mexican food, Thai food, and they're kind of slightly aromatic and not quite as acidic, so not quite as a lemon might be. We're going to deal with one of these, which is the lemon. On the outside of your lemon, you've got your peel. And in the peel, you've got something called oils, and these are what give everything that really lemony, zesty, fruity tang that we want. So to get that out of the lemon and into our food, we need to go back to using our grater. And last time we used the coarse one. This time we're going to use the one on the side, which is a little bit finer. And we're going to still be nice and slow, nice and gentle, and we're going to go down in one direction. And as you do this, you won't be able to smell it, but I can, and you can smell all of the lemoniness coming off this lemon. Now, here is the really important piece of information. Underneath the lemon skin is a layer which is called the pith. And the pith is really bitter, so we don't want to take any of that. So we get through, and you can see on my lemon, you've got this white stuff. So when you get to the white stuff, stop, okay? And that will mean you've got a lovely, zesty lemon flavour. Now, top chefy tip, you put your zest in when you're cooking, okay? And that will keep all of its flavour. But the juice, which we're about to get out in a minute, always put that in at the end, because if you put it in at the beginning, you'll lose all the flavour. So, in here, we've got all the juice. What we want to do is set the juice loose. So we roll the lemon on the board, nice and firm, a bit like giving it a massage. Don't tickle it, okay? And I can feel that that's getting nice and soft and nice and juicy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to one of our holds, which is the bridge. I'm going to hold either side of my lemon, slice so the knife is like a train going under the bridge, and I've got my 2 halves of lemon. Now, you could just squeeze like that. You could use a juicer. But if you haven't got a juicer and you haven't got a firm grip, all you need is our useful piece of kitchen kit, which is the fork. And you can see all the juice that we've got out of that lemon. Now, lemon juice, really good for adding flavour, but it's also really useful for making sure that things we've cut up don't go brown. So if you're slicing strawberries, slicing avocados, anything like that, squeeze a little bit of lemon juice over and it'll stop it going brown. Lemon's also really good for actually keeping things clean. So give it a rub over your chopping board if you've got a particularly messy chopping board, and it'll help you when it comes to washing up afterwards. That's citrus fruit.
Now that I've cut the chili, I'm gonna go wash my hands because I don't want spicy hands.
Okay. Now we should have our zest. Thank you. So now we're going to juice the lime, and what I'm going to do prior to that is I'll just give it a firm roll. And I'm just rolling it just to set the juices loose, just so we get a good amount of it in there.
Cool.
There we are. Just going to use the bridge, cut it in half.
Are we using the full lime or half?
We're going to use the full part of the lime. There we are.
They're so massive.
There we are.
Now we're going to add the mint sauce. So that's the last ingredient.
I'd say the sauce is in pretty mint condition.
So now that's done, now that it's in mint condition, we are going to leave that to one side. We're going to get on with our fritters.
Okay, so now I'll just pass you an onion to finely chop. Okay, cool. So we're going to assume the bridge position. So just hands on the onion, cut underneath the bridge, so the knife acting as a train but not directly on the bottom. A hairy bottom results in a lot of tears, okay?
All right.
There you go.
So I'm going to take the peel off.
Using your fingernails as a guard.
Yeah.
That's right. And just grab the knife and just firmly cut into the onion.
Do you want to show the audience what you can do then?
I'm alright actually.
Let the audience decide who's better. Ooh. You come and do it and we'll compare our slices.
No problem. Observe the mastery.
Look how chunky that is compared to that. Look, and look at mine.
I'd argue it's very well defined.
Okay.
So next, you're going to coarsely grate the courgettes.
Okay.
See what I did there?
So I'm going to cut the two ends off
Why?
because they're ends.
Making sure.
And then I'm going to chop this in half so it's just more manageable when you do grate it. And rather than sort of grating your fingers off, just leave the end and put it in the chuck-it bowl. Et voila! What are we going to do now?
Now we are going to add the chili powder and the sweet corn, and then the chickpea, sorry, should I say the gram flour.
Okay. And I put that in as well?
That's correct.
Now we're going to add some water to sort of hold it together till it's like a thick pancake batter sort of consistency. Okay, stop. Let's just see how it... All right, add a bit more. Stop. It's starting to hold. Add a bit more, please.
Just for the angles. Is that okay?
Right, yeah. So now we've got a good consistency. We're ready to cook.
Let's cook.
We are going to add a tablespoon
Of
cold oil to a...
cold pan.
There we go. Spread it round.
This is technique.
So I'll demonstrate the first one. And then...
No problem.
So what we're going to do is also, when you're at home, make sure that you have the handle, if you're not holding it, on the other side. So when you're moving about, no one sort of falls into it. You're gonna grab a tablespoon like so, put it there, 12 o'clock.
Yeah, that's a good reference point, just so you know.
So there's gonna be 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Press it down lightly. There we go.
Okay, so you're going to let it sort of cook for a couple minutes on this side and then flip it, let it cook on the other side till it's golden and sort of crispy. So now the fritters have cooked.
I'll grab some plates.
Yeah.
Just put these here.
Okay, that's mine.
One last ingredient, apart from myself. A bit of black pepper. Get that on there.
3, 2, 1. That's pretty good.
This is cuisine.
What's wrong with?
Hey guys, so we're gonna be making some blueberry pancakes.
Blueberries are my favorite fruit.
Okay. Try not to eat them, Sean.
So we're using 1 egg, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of milk, and a handful of blueberries.
I'm gonna grab my cup, grab myself a dessert spoon, and then here we are. Observe.
Okay.
Here we go. Fellow chefs, I will now pour the flour. That's 1 cup. That's in now. I'm gonna carefully, just with a cutlery knife. There we go. There we go. No shells. Excellent execution. I put this lovely there. So now, I've cracked my eggs, but I'm gonna go wash my hands. So I've washed my hands now. I've popped the egg in, I'm gonna add my milk, I'm gonna whisk away. There we are. There we go. Pop that there. There we go. Just give that a nice little whisk.
Until it's smooth and there are no bits.
Okay, so
Now you're going to add in a handful of the blueberries and leave the rest to me.
Plop that in there. Just a little bit more. A few dollops in there. Just gonna fold it in a little bit. So now we've got our mix. We're gonna get ready to cook. Let's cook.
Cold oil, cold pan.
That's right, to avoid any form of splatter. Just twist this open. See? Technique. There we go. I'm just gonna have that in there. Spread it nicely for the pancakes. Place it in.
Where are you placing it?
We're gonna use a time reference method. So 12 o'clock, that one's a bit too small.
Yeah, it's very clear you've never made pancakes before.
Yep, there's a first time for everything. 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
You're eating that one.
Yes, I am. This one's lucky, I can feel it. Here we are, and then finally, 9 o'clock. Well, that's the deal. Here we are. There we go. So
how long do you leave it on one side?
1 minute aside, flip over, next minute.
Cool, because it's your first time. When the bubbles, like little bubbles, start to form on the surface, that's when you know to flip it.
Okay, I'm seeing a couple bubbles, so I'll just give this a little flip. Just pop it over. Okay, see the base? It's all a process. There we are. Go. So what else would you say we could add to a pancake, you know?
Grated fruits, I guess, cheese, depending on whether you want it sweet or savory. These are your first ever pancakes.
I know, right?
This is groundbreaking.
I think they're ready to go, so we'll just serve them up. Thank you for being a nice assistant. And then look, there we go.
Cool, so do you want to try it out?
These are my first ever pancakes. Let's ditch the mix and let's start making it at home. You know what?
Just use
Hands
your
in.
hands.
Here goes nothing. What? This is all me. And this can be all you too. This can be all you too. Oh.
And it's time to get cracking.
Yeah, what she said.
Did we get that as we need another take?
Go get a dozen eggs.